Hello beautiful people, we're back again with a little reading to help navigate these times and to help you understand what's going on. So let's have a little look. It's tea and tarot time with Julie. Grab yourself a cuppa, put your feet up. We're going to have a little chat. We're going to be doing tarot, but I want to explain what's been going on with the energy. If you felt like you've been going through a storm, you're not alone. You're not the only one. So let's bring the camera down. Let's have a little look, because this is a spiritual reset, finding peace after the long storm. Collective tarot reading for everybody. Okay, let's have a look what we've got then. 5 of Swords, 2 of Coins, 7 of Cups, Page of Cups, Faith, that's the Hierophant. We want one more. Give me one more for the collective and I'll explain and hopefully make sense of it for you about what on earth has been going on. Okay, we've got the Palace of Cups. Good, I'm happy to see that. All right, let's have a little chat. Okay, now, have you been feeling, my beautiful people, that you are going through a storm, or you have been? All right, now, let's have a little look at this. I tuned in on this and I asked, what's going on? I got really ill, unwell for a week. 3 weeks later, another one for a week. 3 weeks later, another one for 2 weeks. And I said to the universe, I haven't felt ill for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. What's going on? And they said, oh, it's all to do with this cosmic reset and the new energies, and you're clearing and purging and letting go and emptying everything out so that you're clean and fresh for the new energies to come in. Because this thing that you've been talking about for the best part of 30 years, this ascension stuff that, you know, I've been telling you guys, 2025 was all about clearing, 2026 the new energies coming in, right? The new energy has begun. It began this week, okay? In the last week, the new energies have started to filter in. So what they were doing, and it didn't feel very nice, did it? Was clearing out space so that the new energy can come in into your body, into your being, into your DNA, into your chakras, particularly your solar plexus, they're telling me. So when we think about, let's look at what is purging, all right? For me, I had 2 colds followed by flu, and the colds were like really heavy streaming colds followed by flu, can't get out of bed. Now, something like that, where you are blowing your nose, sweating, you're clearing a lot of stuff out of your body, yes? Equally, if you have digestive issues, upset tummy, you're clearing. Now, lots of you have been ill. I read your comments, all right? And by the way, thank you for all your lovely comments for me to get better. I'm all better now. Still, probably 98% there now. But many of you in those comments said, yeah, I've been sick too. Now, that's physically. But what else is going on? Have you felt sick off energetically? Have you felt off emotionally? Have you felt blocked, stuck, down, depressed, lost, isolated? Because it's a lot of that has been going on, and I want to recognize that, because if you're in that space thinking life's really hard and Julie's doing all these really positive readings and what is she talking about, I just want to explain that, all right? Because it is positive. It don't feel like it when we're coughing our guts up and we're feeling like rubbish and we're falling out with everybody and it's all really challenging and we feel like we're going through the dark night of the soul or some kind of heavy, heavy storm. But this is a spiritual reset. And so when we do a spiritual reset, it's not just the spiritual part of us, is it? It affects our body, it affects our mind, our emotions, it affects everything. So many of you are taking really good hard looks at your relationships, your marriages, your jobs or your lack of job, or your financial commitments, and saying, I'm drowning and I can't cope. And I know that you're struggling. So this reading is that reset to explain what's going on and why. and to help you to understand why I can be so positive about these things when people are struggling. And that was including me for the best part of 2 months, if well, 2.5 months. Oh, struggle, right? But it does help when I was tuning in saying, why am I so ill? What's going on? Why do I feel, okay, they want me to bring this in. I've been in hermit mode for a long time now, about 3 years. All right. Now I know I'm a Virgo, and that is the hermit. But I just, in the last week or so, 2 weeks actually, started thinking, right, I need to connect. I need to get out there. And I set some stuff up, and it's all happening. It's all suddenly happening in the last few days. And it seems to be coming faster and harder coming in of the good stuff. All right. So I want you to start to believe that the storm is passing, the rainbow's coming out. Okay, it is, I promise. All right. And this new energy is coming in, but it doesn't happen overnight. All right. Now, if you, like me, were struggling through December, January, February, most of March, you start to feel it's lighter. We start to feel things are coming together. We start to see options opening. Now, that new energy is going to be moving in from now right the way through April and May. And Spirit tell me that by June, most of the new energy is in, right? So this is all, we're shifting into this new energy. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So what we're trying to do, like the title of this says, finding peace after the long storm. Because if we think about that storm, the old order, the old ways, been going on for decades. And then this sort of period of the last year or two is like breaking everything open. And you're going to continue to see stuff on the news about this is changing and that is changing. And of course, we're in this war energy at the moment, which is very uncomfortable. But not unexpected. If you follow any astrologers, Mars moving into this, that, and the other, and tightness, and right, it'll all settle in the next few months, all right? But I want you to bring this into you individually. So let's look at the cards then. 5 of Swords, battle energy. Yeah, see, there we go. We've had that battle energy. It's conflict. It's arguing with yourself. It's negative thoughts. It's spinning around in circles. And it's been feeling like life is bloody hard. Yeah. And so that's where we've been. And that energy is gently and gradually moving out. Now, before it completely goes, it brings with it a lot of realizations, right? What's off, what's missing, what's imbalanced. We've got the 2 of coins next to it. That's the imbalance, right? What's been going on? Now, for those of you struggling in your relationships or your jobs or with finances, this can be going round and round and round in your head. And it's to push you. That's what discomfort does, isn't it? It gets more and more uncomfortable until we're at the point where we say, oh, something's got to change. And then we force ourselves into that change. It doesn't have to be that way. We can embrace that this isn't working and flow with it. But generally we resist, try to find ways around it or go backwards or ignore it until finally we can't. So some of you will be in that situation where you are confronting these things finally, and it needs to be done. All right, it is good for you to do that. So we recognize the battle energy. That's the storm. We've got the Page of Cups underneath it, it's just lovely. We want to see the Page of Cups. The pages are the messengers. They're bringing opportunities, new stuff, bringing in news. Oh, we could do this. Oh, we could do that. All right. So we start to see these opportunities. Now, the Page of Cups in particular can bring surprising opportunities that we didn't see coming. In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, he's got a cup in his hand and there's a fish sticking out of it. And we wouldn't expect to see a fish sticking out of a cup, yeah? It's saying this can be an unexpected opportunity, gift, option for you after this battle. And the battle is what's creating it. So we don't want to hate the battle. And we do, don't we? We hate on stuff like, oh dear, it's all so hard. But actually, that tension of bringing everything up splits it wide open, a little bit like a mini tower, if you like. All right. So the Page of Cups is going to bring some new opportunities that might be a bit of a surprise, because you are ready to get your world and life back in balance. Two of coins. You want your world to just settle down, because it's probably been doing this, hasn't it? Up and down like a yo-yo. And you're saying, right, enough already. Enough. I need things to settle. Whether it is in my finances or my job or my health, or I need things to settle. So we're going to step into the Faith card. I love the fact that in this deck, which is the Tower of Dreams, by the way, that the Hierophant is called faith. It is about faith. The Hierophant is a religious, spiritual card. It's about tradition. It's about long-held, permanent structures. It's Saturn-led, which is about the grown-up stuff, okay? It's about structure and restrictions, like what's working, what's not, what do I need to change? And it's having the faith and the belief in yourself that you can do it, that you can make the changes to bring about the balance. And so as we step into that, it moves us into these options and choices and more of the flow. The Seven of Cups can be a card of confusion. I don't know what to do. I've got all these different options. It can be a card where we get paralyzed. I don't know which one to choose, so I won't choose any. And that's okay. Give yourself a bit of time. Get into the flow. Palace of Cups is a card about your environment, inside and outside. All right, so my inner environment, my peace, my harmony, or lack thereof, my health, my inner environment, and then my outer environment, my home, my place of work, the place I spend time in. Am I in the flow? Because it's cups. Emotional flow. Does it feel good? Does it feel harmonious? Or does it feel constant battle, constant imbalance? What am I going to do to change it? Because the Seven of Cups is saying we need to look at some different options. So let's find out a little bit more. What deck am I using, please? Oh, okay, interesting. Before we go to another tarot deck, they want me to have one of these. These are the unicorn cards, the magic of the unicorns. And there's an angel card sticking in there somewhere, I just noticed as well. That's interesting. Okay, right. Cosmic Emerald, create perfect health, access divine abundance. You can't make this stuff up, can you? All right, this is what we're talking about. Many of you, like me, have been unwell. That's the energy shift, the energy clearing. So now we're stepping into creating perfect health, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. Access divine abundance. It's a number 31. Which is a 4, and 4s are about your foundations. Yes, let's see what that angel card is that's sticking in the wrong deck. We've got here and now. Super. Notice, please, let me shift them out of the way, the similarities here. They've both got the hands in the prayer position. They're both focusing on their thoughts, their prayers, their positivity, their connection to the divine. They are both doing it in the here and now. This is a double message. This is the Oracle of the Angels, by the way, that this particular card was sitting inside the unicorn deck and they told me to pull it out. Also notice the number. It's another number 4. So we've got 2 4s. All right, 4 here and the 4 here from 2 different decks. Now, what have I told you about number 4s? Yeah, so 4s are about your foundation, and your key foundation is your energy and health, isn't it? Because without that, you can't do much. So we've got to get that bit right first. That's our foundation. And then we're going to look at what else. The financial foundation, work, income, relationships, marriages, people we spend time with. How solid is that foundation? So we're in this energy cosmic emerald. This is green energy, is the heart center, right? Create perfect health, access divine abundance, an abundance of health, an abundance of energy. And I tell you what else I want you to tap into is an abundance of clarity, particularly because we've got that 7 of Cups here, which is about options and choices, right? So what is my abundance of clarity? I can get really clear and then I can take appropriate action. So now we go to the tarot. All right. This is one of the Marchetti decks. I can't recall which one. Okay, tell me more then. After the storm, finding peace for my beautiful collective. Let's find out some more. Okay. We've got the Hierophant again. Wow. All right, so that's the universe saying, I meant what I said. You know, I've told you once, now I've told you twice, and I'll tell you thrice if I need to. So the Hierophant, contracts, long-term stability, structures, faith, spirituality, bringing it all together. Now the Hierophant is the number 5. 5's about change, and they can be uncomfortable changes. So what do I need to do? What structural changes do I need to make in my world and life? This could be to do with a new contract for a job. This could be to do with releasing something, all right? Do we need to release anything for the collective? Is there anything we need to release, please? 7 of Swords. That's what we need to release. Okay, so the 7 of Swords is a card of deceit, deception, sneakiness, plans. What's your mission? What's your plan? What's your action plan? Right? He's hiding behind this pillar, and he's going to find his way out with the least amount of conflict possible. All right? So what we're doing is finding our way through the easiest, less stressful, less anxious route possible. Make sense? Whether that's finding a way out of a relationship or a job or out of bad health or out of negativity, we're going to find the path of least resistance is what I'm hearing. Okay? All right, let's find out some more. The path of least resistance, the easiest. We're making it as easy as possible. Now we've got the Knight of Coins, slow moving, steady, stable energy. Very Saturn-led, very Hierophant, right? No rush. You know, we're not looking at the Knight of Wands here coming charging in without really thinking things through. The Knight of Coins, solid, stable, grounded, take my time, make sure that what I'm doing here is going to give me the best long-term secure future, financially and in terms of what is grounded, stable and secure. So what I'm building here to get my balance, to get my peace back, I'm looking at, if I do A, where is that going to take me? If I do B, where is that going to take me? I'm not looking for short-term, this will fix it for 5 minutes, but then I'm going to have to do that. Like, let's say, for example, right, I'm just going to move out from my particular home and go and stay with my sister. That's obviously a temporary measure. You're not going to stay there forever. You're going to use it as a bolt hole, and then you're going to have to move again. Right, now that can be okay if that feels right, but equally it could be, I realise that that's not going to be long term. So I might be better off staying where I am and waiting to go get a proper, secure, long-term home and move once. Or no, I need to go now and this will do for now, and then I'll get the long-term home. You're looking at your options, but you're considering, what do I need to do now and where is that going to take me long-term? And by long-term, I'm not talking years and decades, I'm talking about 6 months' time. All right? So, and okay, they're saying bring it in between now and say June or July, the next 3 or 4 months. What do I need to do right now? Okay, tell me more. Let's look at this Seven of Cups. Oh, nice. All right, we've got the Ten of Cups with the Seven of Pentacles. So this Seven of Cups, options, choices, decisions, which is right for me, which isn't. I want to be considering two things here. The Ten of Cups, which is my long-term happiness and stability and peace, and what I have already built and what I'm going to do with that going forward. The Seven of Coins is recognizing the work, the effort, the commitment you've already put into something, to look at, is it still giving me any benefit, or has that benefit run out and it's now time for me to go and grow something new? Only you will know the answer. It's a general read. But basically, this is kind of, is it worth the effort, right? When we've grown something, and she's grown this tree and she's got a basket and she's picking the fruits of her labour, right? Now, trees will, and as will anything, come to a point where it's just not producing any fruit anymore. That could be a business you put time and effort into and it gave you a lot, but it's not giving you anything anymore. It's kind of a run out. Right, and so is there any point putting any more work into it, or is it time to take the learning, the growth, the development that I've got from that and go and build something else or do something else? And so it's really looking at that. Now, that could be to do with a relationship as well, that it grew, it got to a certain point, it was going great, and now we've kind of gone in separate ways and we're not going to get anything more out of this. It's run its course and it's time now to move on. So the Seven of Coins isn't giving you a decision. It's saying, examine it, look at it. Has it got more potential? And if it has, do I want to put any more effort into it? If it hasn't got any more potential, then there's no point putting anything more into it because I'm wasting my time and energy. So it's looking at it from the viewpoint of my Ten of Cups. Is it giving me the fulfillment, the enrichment, the happiness? And if not, is it time to go and build something else? Let's find some more. Let's find out some more. Tell me more about this reset for the collective, please. And by the way, I'm going to put this under the timeless readings because I feel this is for the next 3 to 6 months and not just for this week. Okay. All right, let's find out some more. Tell me more. Oh, we've got the Queen of Wands, and at the bottom of the deck, the Page of Wands with the Ace of Cups. And look what's under there. We've got Temperance, Strength, the Hermit, and the Eight of Wands. All right, they're getting very chatty all of a sudden. I was doing one at a time, but they're all coming out at once. Let's look at these three, if I can pick them up. There we go. So, Queen of Wands. So she's all about being assertive, dynamic, self-belief, self-worth. I know who I am, I know what I deserve, and I'm going for it, right? And because she's in that energy, she's bringing in her page. The Page of Wands is the one that supports the Queen of Wands. So because she's in this energy, and look at her face, it's like, I see right through you. I see what I need to do and create, and I'm making it happen. Look at the dragons on her shoulders, the fire, the power, and we're in Aries energy with all of that fire. And I think Mars is doing something very important in April as well. So I'm not an astrologer. Go and check out your favourite one. But that Page of Wands is going to bring forward those opportunities for you. And they're going to be fruitful financially. We've got the Ace of Coins coming in. So you're in that energy of, I'm ready to create something new. And then look at this. We've got 3 major arcana cards coming out together, followed by the 8 of Wands, which is good news, forward motion, victory, success. It's the minor arcana equivalent of the Chariot. So where you felt stuck, things can now start to move forward, and they will, towards this reset, this peace after the storm. But let's look at these 3. We've got Temperance. healing, balancing, restoring, everything coming back into harmony. And that's what we're wanting. Remember, we started with the Five of Swords, all that conflict, and the Two of Coins, which is that upside down, topsy-turvy imbalance. Then Temperance comes along, which that's the minor arcana equivalent of that. So we go from I'm trying to get my balance to I've got my balance, right? I'm coming back into harmony and I am strong and powerful. We've got the Strength card, which is another number 8. This is your resilience, your power, your strength to move things forward from a place of I have figured out what I want, what I need, where I'm going, and how to get there. Because that Hermit energy is about the self. I know who I am. I've contemplated, meditated, focused, and I am ready to move things forward. So beautiful. How did we get to 26 minutes? I don't know where that time went. Are you still here? All right, that's the longest reading I've done for some time. Let's finish off with an angel card. Let me know if you're still here at this mark of 26:06. All right, let's finish off. We've got inner child, we've got application, and we've got liberation. Beautiful. 22, the inner child. We are focusing on the inner child. Play, joy, trust, innocence, balance. 22 is a master number of growth and connections and building. So I am building myself. I am applying what I need to do and what I know, right? She's growing out of the tree of life, out of the book of knowledge. Number 19, 1 and 9 is a 10. We come back to the 1. Let me just get it to focus. All right, there we go. So the 1 is a new beginning. I'm applying myself of what I choose to do to liberate myself from all that holds me back. 34 is a 7. It's a very spiritual number. And notice the way your heart is lit up here. I am liberating myself. So this has been your reading for the spiritual reset, finding peace after the long storm and understanding what we've been going through and why. And also to sort of tie that in with why the readings that I've been doing, and I always do, I always find the silver lining in every cloud. It has been challenging the last couple of months, but it is a positive thing because the old energy is moving out and the old restrictions are moving out. The system order is collapsing for a new system and new order to be built in its place. So keep your faith, keep your trust, keep going and move yourself towards that peace. All right, so my beautiful people, that is what I have for you for this bonus timeless reading of the reset and what's going on. I hope it's been helpful. If it was, drop me a like, a share, a comment. Let me know how this plays out for you. Does it make sense for you? Does it resonate for you? And I'll be back on Friday with your weekly reading for the, 27th of March. And I will see you soon. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.